part 5 and the last part of my story. Get ready with me, drive in the car with me, sit in the drive-thru with me as I share with you how I met my soulmate, how I weeded through a lot of trash to find that divine union connection that I knew instinctually was my next relationship dynamic, and I knew I was ready for it, and I could conceptualize what it was, but I didn't actually know until I have now lived it. So hopefully my experience will help y'all to strive for this level of relationship, because it truly is heaven on earth. And it is, for the spiritual girlies out there and the people that are doing their work, it is the pinnacle of a relationship because of its safety. And as I talked about in my last 4 videos, the safety that I felt with this man from the very minute I laid eyes on him is unparalleled. I felt it in my body, and after going through a series of really toxic relationships, especially a 12-month narcissistic relationship with a very dishonest man, I knew what it felt like in my body to be lied to. I knew what it felt like in my body when I knew something was wrong and he was lying to me and gaslighting me, and or I was lying to myself. I knew what it felt like when a man couldn't create emotional safety because he had not done his own emotional work to be able to handle and face his own emotions. And so therefore my emotions triggered him, and he would gaslight, blame shift, and employ a bunch of different toxic responses so that he didn't have to deal with my emotions. What I'm realizing from this divine union soulmate relationship is that a man that fully embodies his divine masculine creates safety in all areas. He creates safety financially. He creates safety physically. He creates safety, most importantly, emotionally. And from the little tasks that my soulmate did for me, starting on the very first date, and he has continued to do to this day, those are tasks of safety. So opening my door for me, sitting facing the doorway in a restaurant so that he can survey the premises and make sure that I'm safe, walking on the outside of the street. Those things ensure my physical safety. He ensures my financial safety. He pays for almost everything. We have a realistic relationship, so you know, if I'm buying something for myself that I really want and he's spoiled me a lot that month, I will pay for it. If we're just grabbing lunch together, I will often just pay for my own lunch because I want to pick up now and again. But for the most part, when we go out on dates, he is paying for dinner. He is paying for drinks. He is paying for our vacations. He is spoiling me. He is buying me the things that I want. We're not at a point yet where we're living together and he's paying my bills, but at this point he is very financially providing for me and has created a very safe environment. And I want to say something. I don't need this man to care for me financially. I am fine financially, but you need to let a man pay for you. You need to let him make the sacrifice in paying for you, because that's how they fall in love with you. It's how they have purpose, and it's how they are fully in their masculine. And I will only allow a man that is fully in his masculine, and I will go more into what that means. But baseline, it is creating safety in all the ways. So I touched on physical safety. I touched on financial safety. The most important thing a man can do for a woman that is in his divine masculine is to create emotional safety. I have an entire TikTok channel and a multitude of videos, 500 approximately, where I mainly talk about what it feels like when a man does not create emotional safety for his woman, because I just lived this for 12 months. And I would even argue in my long marriage, I did not feel emotionally safe. And it is by doing all the things I detailed earlier in this video, by gaslighting, blame shifting, because men that have not done their emotional work cannot hold yours. They cannot create an emotional safe place for you to show up in all the ways that women show up, emotionally diverse. We have 4 weeks that are completely different from one another hormonally. Women are going to show up with a bunch of different emotions. And a man that is triggered by those emotions and just wants peace is a small, damaged man that has not done his work. Do not settle for less, because you will never feel safe in a relationship like that. And what I love about Soulmate and what he still brings to the table to this day that is the most valuable to me is his ability to hold all my emotions. I have never seen this man triggered by a request that I have for safety, by me showing up in a mood that is chaotic, or a mood that is hard, a mood that is heavy, he can hold it. He is a steadying force. He anchors himself in his own emotional security and stability. So in those moments when I need a rock, he holds his own, is steady, and can show up for me in whatever way that is, whether that's to fix the problem, whether that's to listen to me, whether that's to comfort me. He can instinctually know what it is I need, and he delivers. And that is beyond a man being in his masculine. That's a soulmate connection. A soulmate can just tell right away what you need without you even having to communicate it. It's been really, really beautiful to have both of these things in my man, in my special person. A man in his masculine, and a man who instinctually knows me. And something I'll say about soulmates that I've noticed with mine is that we feel like we've known each other for eons of time. I feel like I am just now reconnecting with this man, but I have known him before. I have lived lifetimes with him before, and I want to commit to him. I want to make him my family. I feel like we have had so much time to not be together that we have finally found each other, and we want to be together again. I also want to say that when you meet your soulmate, often the time will not act in a normal way. So what is 2 weeks to you, to the two of you, would be like 2 months to another normal couple. You are able to traverse so much emotionally, and you're able to connect and get to know one another on such a rapid, deep level, because the vulnerability is so easy, and you're able to like share the deepest parts of yourself. You grow so much closer in a short amount of time. So if you've met your soulmate connection and people are giving you shade about how quick you've moved, ignore it, because time with a soulmate is much, much different. That's another thing about a soulmate that's so amazing, is you can laugh like you've never laughed with anyone before. When I am with him, and this also speaks to a man being in his masculine, when a man is in his masculine and he creates safety for his woman becomes like a child. And not like a damaged child, because when a wounded man leads a relationship, he brings out the damaged child in his woman. She starts acting from a hysterical, small, young place that's been traumatized. But when a man is in his masculine, he brings out a childlike ease in his woman. She can finally rest and relax while he does all of these task-based things to make her feel safe and to hold the container of her emotions. So she can finally rest. It's the one place in her life she can sit back and rest and be a child again. And so we laugh like I've never laughed before. We share all of these little inside jokes and moments. There's nothing I could not do around this man, or nothing I could say around him that I would be embarrassed by, because he is my person, and it's so beautiful. So thank you so much for following along on this journey as I shared meeting my soulmate.